I'm live already. All right.
Welcome, 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 welcome. So, I want to start by breaking the ice with why on earth Darius Geis made it to round two, pick 59 overall. I've got a pretty crazy idea of how he made it. Dwight, you want to kick us off first with why do you think that Darius Geis made it to round two, pick 59? Can be super serious or can be super made up.
I I can't. I'm not that creative, I guess.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's just the immaturity. Like there was questions about his immaturity, and I think
Right.
the speculation about him acting like he had been asked whether he was gay and stuff like that, and that kind of I think put a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. Especially, I can see in the NFL circle how that would be a breach of confidentiality kind of thing. Whether it was true or not. Just
You mean like them asking
yeah, like he came out
him the
and
question
said,
and him telling that they asked him?
right, yeah, like he came out and said somebody asked him that. I could see that being kind of, I don't know, a no go in the culture, I guess. And then it comes out that they never asked, supposedly. It just seemed kind of weird.
I don't know if they really didn't ask though. That sounds
I think,
like an NFL thing to do.
yeah, sounds like a Jets thing or
Yeah. What do you think,
Browns.
Chris? Why do you think he fell to us, our Redskins?
Because the NFL's a bunch of babies.
Dude, eighth running back though. He was eighth, right? I believe it was
it
eighth.
was seventh or eighth. It was so ridiculous. I mean,
It's like, dude,
we can credit the Redskins for finally taking them, but at the same time, they wanted on Johnson, and the Lions leapfrogged him.
dude, I
So
could not imagine. I could not believe that they got sniped on Darius Geis. Like, who? Okay, dude. Like, I'll preface it with I think that he's definitely the second best running back. But come on, dude. Like, you really thought Kerryon Johnson was better than Darius Geis, and then you got sniped by the
yeah.
Lions.
And then they felt so bad about losing out on on, they had to trade back 15 spots and still end up with Geis anyway.
Oh, God. He's going to be such a beast, man.
It's ridiculous. I keep hearing about video games. Maybe it's because he likes Battlegrounds instead of Fortnite. You never know.
Yeah, but dude, I mean, Juju skyrocketing off everyone's list. Everyone loves Juju, and he does the same thing. He's probably better at Fortnite, honestly.
Yeah. Maybe it helps. You never know. I think it's dumb. He'll be fine.
He's going to be an animal, man. Keep him at your 102, or take advantage if you have the 103 or the 104.
Sorry, he's not my 102.
Someone awesome. Whatever, man. If it's super flex, I'll take Mayfield, but
it's still not.
He's still going to be the 103 here. We'll talk about that in just a second because, Chris, you will kick us off with the first round ranking super flex, and you'll have to justify that one.
Well, I mean, I'll justify it when I get there, but it obviously starts off Barkley, and then Mayfield 102, who I love, always have loved, and then Penny comes in at 103, who is my 102 otherwise. With the first round capital and the volume he's bound to get. The offensive line doesn't worry me, nor does pass protection. I think it's all overblown. And then it's Rosen and Lamar Jackson, both QBs in Superflex to obviously get the bump. Rosen's your steady, long-term probable answer like Matt Ryan, whereas Lamar is like the high upside guy. Probably won't play for a year.
Right.
But when he does get on the field, it'll be electric. And then it'll go Geis and Chubb after that. And then down to Darnold as the fourth QB in this round. And then the first wide receiver will be DJ Moore. And then back to running backs, it'll be Royce Freeman, Kerryon Johnson, and then, which brings me to 112, who I could not pick. I honestly could not make a choice between Sony Michel, Christian Kirk, or Ronald Jones.
Interesting. I'm gonna wait until the end to discuss who I thought might make it into yours, but I'll go ahead with you, Dwight, and then after you finish, we'll discuss a little bit of the differences.
All right. Yeah, I'll take Saquon, obviously.
Yeah.
I got Mayfield and Rosen as 2 and 3. And then I'll go Geis and Chubb 4 and 5. Little Lamar at 6, I think. DJ Moore 7. Darnold 8. Then we'll go 9 and 10, Sony and Ronald Jones. 11, Sutton, and 12, Rashad Penny.
Wow. Wow. Rashad Penny. I can't wait to talk about that. Let me go ahead and do mine before we start getting into this. Now I've got two things to justify. All right, so I'm starting with Barkley, obviously. Mayfield at 2. The dude's just electric, and I don't know that Tyrod has any of a leash. I mean, he might have a choker on. Geis at 3. Couldn't take him out. So with Geis, real quick on that, I do know that Jay Gruden came out and said that Geis was going to be the 1 and 2 guy, and Chris Thompson's going to be a 3 guy. First of all, Chris Thompson's great, so obviously that makes a lot of sense, but that doesn't mean he's not going to catch the ball on 1st and 2nd down, so whatever. Geis at 3 still. Penny goes at 4. Love that landing spot. Rosen at 5. Then I go Chubb, Darnold, Freeman. DJ Moore, first wide receiver off the board. Lamar Jackson, Rojo, and then I actually have Carry-On. I don't think that either of you got Carry-On in the first round. Am I correct?
I had him at 11.
Okay, at 11. So I got him at 12. And surprisingly, I'm the lowest on Jackson. I really like Jackson a lot. It's just that he's going to take a little bit of development to get into the pro game. Also, I'm afraid that he's going to get destroyed like RG3 did in 2012. Now, hold on. I'm not comparing the two players at all. I'm just saying that he's going to run and he's going to get hit, slight of frame. So that's a little worrisome because I remember RG3 taking some nasty hits. First, though, I want to talk to Dwight about Penny at 12. How do you feel about that? What's up with that?
I don't know, man. I just don't see it. I just don't. I don't think the situation is not as good there as we think it is. Like, the line scares me. His pass blocking scares me. He was in college. He's not great at anything. He's good at a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if he's good enough to overcome that. And I hope that how many running backs has Seattle had hurt in the last 3 years? Like 17?
All of them.
Yeah, like insane. Like they just take a beating.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he can take it. I really don't.
What do you think about Penny that late, Chris? Where'd you have Penny at?
He's my 102 in normal PPR.
1-2.
So this is egregious. I will not stand for this, Dwight.
All right, so
yeah, I don't care.
Look, I'll say this. I really, really like Chubb a lot. Chubb was my 3rd running back for even after the draft. My problem, though, is that the only leagues that I've been able to get either Penny or Chubb, I've tried to trade back a pick for 1, so I didn't have to make the decision. But for 2, both teams were win now. And if you're win now, you have to go with Penny. I mean, it's going to be kind of like the Aaron Rodgers effect where you just want the guys that are playing around him. Russell Wilson is just so polarizing. He's going to be an animal every year. So the line is horrible. I trust Penny's receiving ability, though. I don't trust his blocking. Hopefully that picks up. But they didn't really add any O-line talent, which is very worrisome to me. If you're going to take a guy 2nd off the board that nobody was really ranking that high, and then you don't back it up with offensive line picks, that's kind of scary to me for sure.
I do agree. Short term, I like him. He's got probably the least wear and tear on him.
Yeah,
of all the backs. But remember how good Thomas Rawls was his first season. You know, he shot out of the gates like nothing, and he just couldn't.
True. He was a little more of the in between the tackles guy. People say that Penny's going to be good between the tackles, but I'm really excited about his receiving ability because Russell Wilson's going to be just running for his life all year, honestly. So he's going to have to dump that ball off.
He's going to get the volume. He's going to get the carries. He's going to get the catches. I mean, they're really, as far as anything not to like, I do understand the situation, but the guy, he's elusive, and his receiving ability, he gets actually knocked for it, and I think it's a strength of his game. I don't see a situation where he comes off the field, and the pass blocking, pass protection doesn't scare me as much as it seems to everybody else.
Right. Why would he come off the field? I mean, for McKissick, like he every time he got like 6 to 7 yards, it just felt like a feel-good story to me. Like, I mean, it was cool when he did it, but it wasn't going to keep happening.
He seemed like a decent enough player, but he's pretty small too. I don't think he's.
Yeah, very.
I wouldn't trust him with anything.
All right. Unless there's any other comments, I did want to mention that DJ Moore was the only wide receiver in any of our rankings, unless I missed something. So that's interesting. Some people have Ridley up there. The age a little bit I'm awful on. Some people think that he's going to be the immediate 2. I would have to say that he's going to go behind Sanu for at least a while, unless he's going to play in the slot. What do you guys think? Any other wide receiver could crack the first round?
Well, for me, I couldn't choose, but Christian Kirk is right there. I think he's got year one potential and beyond once Larry Fitzgerald retires in the slot.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Somebody said something, I wish I remembered who it was, but compared him to Nelson Aguilar, how Nelson Aguilar basically played out of position for the first couple years. He wasn't supposed to be an outside guy, and then all of a sudden he blows up and everybody's like, yo, what's going on with Nelson Aguilar? Well, he's in the correct position now. So guys, don't be afraid if Christian Kirk doesn't blow up right off the scene, because as soon as Fitz is gone, he's going right into the slot, no matter how much he succeeds outside. All right, unless we're missing anything else, I want to actually jump over to your buy lows. I'm super interested to hear you guys' buy low and going into the year. I think I started with Dwight first, so let's hear yours first, Chris.
All right, you know this one, Adam. It's my boy Robert Woods. And what's funny is we were talking about this, and you had said something like, "Oh, he's not a buy low anymore, right? Like he's really good, and people are giving him that respect." Well, I hopped on the Trade Finder over at DLF, and I was like, I wonder if that's actually the case. And I'm pulling it up again right now. I'm going to name off a couple trades, and
oh goodness, and
a couple of them are with you, but you should hear some of these. Okay, so the first one I'm going to name off. This is normal PPR, no Superflex. Robert Woods and Corey Coleman for Kenny Stills, Taywan Taylor, a 19 first and third. So who do you want?
Robert Woods. I love Stills, but Robert Woods.
Dwight?
Woods.
Yep. It's got to be Woods. And then this one, Robert Woods for 206 and a 19 second.
Woods.
Yeah, Woods.
That's Woods by a mile, right?
Yeah.
Right.
This one's a little closer. It's Woods and a 19 second, and then a couple trash picks for Aaron Jones, Devin Funchess, and a third.
Okay. I mean, depends how you feel about Funchess. I don't think he's going to do much, especially with DJ Moore there. So, yeah, probably Woods.
It's a little closer, right?
Yeah.
A little bit.
This one jumps off the page as egregious, okay?
Oh, come on.
So one is Ted Ginn, Ricky Seals-Jones, and the 109, and this is just normal PPR for the 110. So the picks almost wash, okay? So just think about this. So Ted Ginn and Ricky Seals-Jones for Robert Woods and Ben Watson.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Just horrible. And then the two more I want to do, and these are all within the last 5 days.
All right.
Robert Woods for Cameron Brate straight up normal PPR.
Okay.
And Robert Woods for CJ Anderson straight up.
All right. So tell me how you feel about Cooks being there.
So what did Sammy Watkins have? 70 targets last year, approximately, off the top of my head. I think it was about 70, 75.
It was 60 something.
Brandon Cooks, if he breaks 90 targets, I would be surprised. So
yeah,
I think Cooper Kupp got more targets than Woods last year. It was by a marginal number, by like 5. But Woods also played in 3 less games than Cooper Kupp, and that helped Kupp get those targets. So I think Woods will be pushing 100 to 110 targets in that offense. Kupp takes the biggest hit, probably sitting at around 75 or 80, and Cook's around 85 to 90. And Robert Woods will be the wide receiver 1 in that offense.
Absolutely. He has to be the target hog. I mean, he looked the part. That's why I'm so high on Woods, and that's why people are so tired of hearing me talk about him, because he looked the part that he should be the wide receiver 1. And it wasn't a negative for Cooks to come there. He is the same field stretcher that Sammy was, maybe better. I don't know. I like Sammy a lot as a real NFL football player, but Cooks might demand a little bit more target share. Still great for Woods, man. I did not want Woods to be the premier target in that offense. I want that big name across from him. So that's awesome. And if you're still, if those are the trades going down, then you're totally on point with calling them a buy low. Unless anyone has anything to add, let's get to Dwight's buy low, and then we'll get to me.
The Ravens, like the whole Ravens offense is a buy low for me.
Okay.
I've seen Crabtree drop crazy low. Snead, Flacco in a super flex, more or less. And Collins, I've seen all 3 of those, like Collins, Crabtree, and Snead drop. like crazy low. And I really think they're going to be a pretty good offense this year. They're not going to, burn the world alive or anything like that. But just where I've seen them going is insane. You can get Crabtree for nothing if you want. And I think he's going to be pretty good there. And Flacco's going to see some sort of resurgence. I think having Lamar there to light a fire under him is going to help. And he hasn't had the weapons around him in a long time.
And
really bad weapons.
Right, and Crabtree gets to be the wide receiver one for the first time since San Fran. So, I mean, we'll see how that turns out, too. He could be playing that kind of Des Bryant role where you need to just throw it up to him, but probably a little better hands than Des had last year, to be honest with you.
Right.
But the one that interested me was definitely Alex Collins. I have him in a couple orphans I picked up, and I'm not super excited about him, and he feels just like Kenyon Drake does, where – he did really well, but for some reason you didn't hear anything from the team in the offseason. No one sold on him. People are selling him maybe around market value. I haven't seen anything too crazy, but people are definitely getting out from under him, which I definitely did with Drake. And it just feels like he just did really well. I mean, maybe because the team's not coming out and endorsing him. He's a buy low, but he's not old. He river dances. So, yeah, dude, I'm totally down with owning him, especially since you can own him for like your running back 3 or running back 4, and he might put up running back 1 numbers on any given week. So I'm totally down with owning Alex Collins. That's definitely a great call. I don't think you're going to get me in on Flacco, but you'll get me in on the other 2. My buy low is Spencer Ware. So here's my thing with Spencer Ware. He's free, essentially. So let me just start there. Pretty much free. I don't think anyone but me thinks that he's going to get any usage. But we have to remember last season going into the year, there were a lot of people projecting Spencer Ware to have the year that Kareem Hunt had. Now, Kareem Hunt came out and was the rushing leader, so obviously he surpassed any expectations. But we were expecting a lot from Spencer Ware. I mean, trades were going down for him like a running back 1 at that point in time. He had 214 rushes. This is in 14 games started for 921 yards, so almost 1,000, 3 touchdowns. But he also caught 33 balls, which is awesome because he can actually participate in the snaps that he takes, whereas Charkandrick West last season took way too many snaps than the Chiefs should have given him. Barely touched the ball in any of those snaps, like whatsoever. So if you just kick Charkandrick West to the curb, pencil Spencer Ware in as that third down back, although he could play all 3 downs essentially, give him the same snaps as Charkandrick West, but actually let him touch the ball on him. I mean, you might be getting a third down back equivalent to Chris Thompson for essentially free, in my opinion, with just the way I've seen him play. Don't know how he recovered from the injury. We'll see from that, but I think he's well worth rostering. And that's going to lead us to talking to Jerick McKinnon now that we're talking about third down backs. I'll spit my opinion on Jerick McKinnon, and I'm going to have Addison Hayes on our pod next week to really break it down for me because I'm just not seeing it. He had the opportunity and he split snaps with Asiata. He had the opportunity again, brought in Dalvin Cook. That was kind of weird because he just fell really late. Dalvin Cook just went off. But then Dalvin Cook went down and it was like, this is it. This is the Jerick McKinnon show. And then we saw way too much of Latavius Murray. So now he goes into this high-powered offense and it's like, oh my goodness, he's going to be a rock star. Well, he's still Jerick McKinnon, and that's not what I'm hearing from a lot of people. I'm hearing about how many targets he's going to get from Jimmy GQ. I'm hearing about he's going to get all these touches that he's never had. He's never topped 170. So I don't know that. I think I'm selling at his value. I would like to own him, but I think he's way too valuable for me to keep on my team. Dwight, do you want to go ahead and chime in with your Jerick McKinnon take?
Oh, I absolutely agree. I've seen crazy prices paid for him, and I just don't get it. Like, I'm trying to think of one equivalent, but I've seen late, not early first, but like 1.4, 1.5 prices going for him, and that's just crazy. I want to see it.
Absolutely.
He's obviously going to get the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's there, but I can't see him getting full opportunity and making the most of it. I wish I knew more. I wish I'd seen him more to see what, but I just know from what limited I have seen and what he's done in the past that I'm not interested in the price.
What do you think, Chris?
All right, Adam, you have seen firsthand what a Shanahan offense can do for a running back. Okay.
Well, I've seen what it can do for Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, who I think are both better.
I'm talking Shanahan. Okay, Mike included. Okay. He pulled Alfred Morris out of the 6th round.
And Halou. Okay.
He even made Evan Royster relevant for the time he played.
Yeah,
I'm just throwing out names. These people won't even know who I'm talking about right now.
Right.
Any running back a Shanahan touches can turn to gold. Okay. Now here's how I see it coming out. You say he's never eclipsed 170 touches. Okay, that's
no carries.
Okay, well, he may not eclipse 170 carries again, but I see 100 targets in this offense. Okay,
wow,
Le'Veon Bell type targets coming in this offense. Okay, but the thing with McKinnon is I think he's going to be stellar PPR back. But if you're in anything that's other than PPR, first of all, quit your league because that's horrible.
Yeah, I agree.
But get Matt Breida on the cheap because I think if McKinnon's eating up all these targets and he's not going to be able to carry the ball 250 times. His body's not made for that. The guy to own there is Matt Breida, who's going to get a lot more run than people care to think. He's going to be the Tevin Coleman to his McKinnon's Devontae Freeman.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's being valued as a third, nothing compared to what Coleman's been selling for years and is still not put it together. So Breida's the guy I want on the cheap, but I'm still taking McKinnon at his current price, which is I think actually dropped since he signed because people are kind of in the same boat as you are, who are starting to have questions. So if you like him, I don't know if rookie drafts have probably already happened, but I'm just looking at my rookie rankings here, and I would take him over the Royce Freeman tier. So if you take quarterbacks out, probably 106, 107 off the top of my head.
That'll bring me into my next point. I think that you just have to find the right owner because some people are all over Jerick McKinnon, and that's how you're getting those 106s and 105s because you got that. You were really excited about this rookie class coming in, and then you got a lot of really smart dudes being like, hey, you got to pump the brake on these rookie running backs just because 17 was so crazy. So I'm a little bit in the middle. I think the class is pretty strong. We got a few guys that have to develop. I actually picked up an orphan and traded Jerick McKinnon right away for the 109. Now I ended up trading the 109 for the 108, like 109 and Chris Hogan for the 108 or something because Mayfield fell to 108. So I ended up getting Baker Mayfield in a super flex for Jerick McKinnon. Now I ran a poll. It was way more close than I was comfortable with. I think it was about 41% on McKinnon and the other number 59.
Well, Hogan does help. I do like Hogan. If we were talking buy lows, I would have been in on Hogan and Burkhead. But
that is nuts.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, very relevant to this, is a trade that I made after my rookie draft. I took Geis because at 102 because I knew how the league valued him and on a contender, and immediately flipped Geis for Thielen and McKinnon because I know I'm going to need points, and I think McKinnon is going to get those points, and then I was able to take Penny at like 105 anyway because I knew he would fall. Know your league mates, kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Thielen gets you the guaranteed points there, so even if you miss, it's not too bad. We're coming up on the close here. We're only doing 30 minutes today. We'll do an hour in the future. Really appreciate the 3 viewers we've had so far this whole time. And now is probably I'm the most excited about this because it's so easy to find a first-round rookie mock. That's why I wanted to do the second-round rookie mock. So let me go ahead and tell you guys who's off the board, and this is DLF's rankings. Took DLF's top 12 in a standard. So take Barkley, Geis, Chubb, Jones, DJ Moore, Rashad Penny, Sony Michel, Calvin Ridley, Cortland Sutton, Royce Freeman, Christian Kirk, and Kerryon Johnson off your board. All right. Did everybody get those?
Yep.
Right.
All right. Chris, you're up 101. Dwight, you're 102. I'll be 103. We're doing the second round rookie mock.
Yeah, we'll just call it 201 to help people out. So sorry. So well, no, it's fine. Right off the bat, I'm going to take the guy with the most immediate opportunity since we don't really have rosters to work with, and take Michael Gallup.
Okay.
Tons of targets to eat up in Dallas, and I think he's going to get them.
Agreed. All right, Dwight.
I will gladly take Anthony Miller.
Well,
I think he's going to get a lot of targets in Chicago too, and I absolutely love him. Love everything he does. I would take him 102. No, maybe not that bad.
You won't do it.
I would. I have taken him in the tail end of the first.
Okay, interesting. I'm gonna go with my my guy that I almost want to put. I almost want to put him in the first if it weren't for carry on a lot of Gesicki. Loved the opportunity there. Goddard would have made it a lot closer, but he's behind Ertz for the foreseeable future. So I'll go with Gesicki at the 203.
You're making it easy for me. I'm going to take my boy, James Washington. I do not care about Pittsburgh landing spot that much. I really don't. This has created a value for me because here's the thing. Ben has supported fantasy relevant receivers multiple times. And AB is no spring chicken, but nor is Ben. I think they're already preparing for life after Ben with Mason Rudolph, who he already has a rapport with James Washington. So I think they've set it up well for the long one. This is obviously why he fell to the second, because it's going to take a while. But I will happily take him here at 204.
Yep, for sure.
I've seen him.
All right, Dwight.
I've seen him go late second. That's
208. I saw. Yep.
Yeah.
211. I saw this morning.
Oh, gross, dude. He was my wide receiver one for a while.
Yep, it was super flex.
Okay.
But even still, 211 feels like.
Right. I'll take Dante Pettis just because I think he's got the opportunity there to grow with Jimmy G. And, I wasn't super high on him pre-draft, but, I mean, you can't deny the landing spot and the need there for someone to step up. So, yep. Love Dante Pettis.
All right, I'll take the QB1, break the QB seal. I'll go with Mayfield here at 206. Pretty simple. And Chris?
Yep, I would have to go my QB2 with Rosen.
Gotcha.
Fine. I'll take Lamar Jackson then.
Yeah.
Make it easy. Come on.
Man.
All right. Yep. I like any of those quarterbacks. Late second. It's good. Yeah.
Yep.
Love it. Tough. This one gets tough. I'm gonna go with Balaj for the same reasons that I said earlier. I'm sold on Drake. I don't feel like the Miami offense is very sold on Drake. I think we're gonna get a lot better NFL production from Drake than we're going to get fantasy, because I think that old man Gore is going to take a lot of those goal line and short yardage touches. And then I think Balaj might actually be a nice grab in PPR. So that's my pick.
Yep.
I think Gore's ceremonial more than anything. I don't think he's there to do much, quite honest with you. But in any event,
he might have a few records still to grab, though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he might be chasing like a couple 100 yards or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Playing in 3 centuries or something. I don't know.
Right.
Decades, whatever.
Playing with his grandchildren in the NFL.
I'm not worried about workload concerns or anything like that. All right, so I'm stuck between two guys here, both with decent pedigrees in the second and third, but I'm going to go with a better offense and take Traquan Smith. Yeah, I know. Nice. He's been falling here a lot, and I really like taking him here in that offense with Breeze, at least for the foreseeable future.
Nice.
All right.
Where I was going. I'll go with Goddard. I'm not as worried about the landing situation. I love his talent, and I realize it may be a couple years until he's like a relevant option, but I'll wait a couple years on that talent.
Now, 2 tight end sets are also getting pretty prevalent. Last year, a lot of successful teams were running 2 tight end sets, so they might have had that in mind, and then we might be all overthinking it.
Right.
You guys made this very hard for me because now we've got 3 guys that I wasn't expecting to be there. I'll avoid the easy pick, and I'll go with Callaway. I think that he's going to have a pretty quick opening to targets. I know it looks bad. You've got Juice there. You have Gordon, and then, of course, you have Coleman. But I like his skill set a lot. and he worked with AB in the offseason. So I think he'll actually get to the field quick. And I think Coleman might be one of those guys that like we were really excited about, but maybe the NFL wasn't quite as excited. So before we get out of here to close up our 30 minutes, I'll recap the second round mock. We have Gallup 201, Miller 202, Gesicki 203, Washington 204, Pettis 205, Mayfield 206, Rosen 207, Lamar Jackson 208, Kalen Ballage 209, Traquan Smith 210 or 210, 211 Goddard, and 212 Callaway. But I was thinking about Darnold and Hines just for the record. But make sure I get those out on Twitter. This will be saved on YouTube. I appreciate you guys listening, and also you dudes coming on. Thanks for helping me kick off the Dynasty pregame.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Chris.
Catch y'all later.
Should we? I'm sorry. Should we jump in and talk about like our Twitter or anything like that? We didn't really do anything like that.
Yeah. Introduce your Twitters while we're here.
Yeah, go ahead, Dwight.
I'm at DHH People's Champ, and just writing articles for Happy Hour and get on pods when I can, man.
All right, Chris, go for it.
I'm at the Swoboda DHH. That's SVO. We're going to be doing this hopefully just about every week, talking football, talking with the DHH guys about what they're doing. And then in the season, we'll be helping everybody with their fantasy stuff and stuff like that. So it'll be good fun.
Yeah, and I'm DHH_Adam. I'm also co-host on the Dynasty Owners Manual, where we interview some experts in the industry to kind of talk to some of the newer guys. And I'm sure this is a couple of dudes that I'm going to have on. We're going to do this show every Saturday. In the season, it's going to be way better because we're itching for that Sunday football. So it's going to be awesome in season because, I mean, we're going to be dying. You got your DFS lineups in. You're ready to roll. You just want to talk some football. So this is going to be awesome coming up into football season. I appreciate y'all joining, and anyone who listens later on, thanks for giving us a listen. See y'all later.
Peace.